So this being called Primus, we became known as Primus, was primordial light, came in and said to me, 5G, 6G. 6G is the totality of enslavement. No one will think for themselves. It's a scrambling of the human soul. He said that we are moving into frequencies beyond our knowledge, so that's why we need to know about them. Frequencies in the megahertz range.
Welcome to the Mark Attwood Show, Adventures in a Cosmic Suit. 5 years I've been saying, well, 4 years I've been saying that. It's quite a long time, isn't it? How's it going where you are? It's very blustery, shall we say, in the west of Ireland. It's been an interesting week or so. 2 weeks, actually. 2 weeks today since we did Rebels Across the Pond. And if you couldn't make that event, that's fine, because these events are wonderful when you're there in person, but we reach many, many, many more people by recording it, which we were very lucky to have Ryland Media come and record the event for us. And it's been very interesting putting those out. So the first place, if you want to go and catch this, there were 17 speakers that day. Okay, so which is pretty extraordinary. And it was a good 7 or 8 hours whilst we were talking. But what I wanted to show you is where you can catch all the videos. So we're charging nothing for the videos. So you can go and watch them firstly on my Substack here, which is Diary of a Conspiracy Theorist. Who could that be? It's me. .substack.com. As you can see, I've uploaded Abby, Ferg Power, Tarot by Janine, Jana K. London, Tracy O'Mahony, that was a different show, but that's a great show. Dario Flaherty, Eddie Hobbs. They're all being uploaded as they come in because there's a lot of editing work to be done. So feel free to go there. And also, it's very important, if you like the content that we put into that event, which is excellent content, really is. And it's a very different thing watching somebody speak from the stage than behind a computer screen. The place to go there is on X, formerly Twitter. And here's an example of one of the videos that I put up yesterday. And this one's today with Ferg Power. And it's already had nearly 8,000 views on X. X is the best place to get big coverage. Although I've got 30,000 subscribers on Substack, it's kind of preaching to the choir there. On X, if you believe in the information, and this particular speech with Ferg is amazingly powerful. In fact, he got a standing ovation on the day, and he was nervous. He didn't want to, he wanted me to interview him, as you can see here. And then I suddenly realized, actually, no, he can do this himself. And he did such an amazing job, because Ferg only ever speaks from the heart. He can't, just amazing. And everybody gave him a standing ovation. But these videos need you to share them. It's really, really important. If this is a spiritual war, but it's also an information war. We've already been approached by a journalist that sneaked in, attempting to do a hit piece on us, which doesn't bother me. It's part of the course, but in the information war, you're part of it. So if we go to the massive effort that we went to put this thing on, and then record everything, and then edit everything, and then publish everything, please, please, please use your power to share. You can also download the videos. If you want to download any of the videos from Twitter, just type in Twitter video downloader, put the URL in where the video is. You've got it for yourself. Download a low-res version, put it up on Facebook, if you dare. It's interesting with the censorship. There was a thing put out 2 weeks ago saying that YouTube channels that were disabled in the last few years are going to be starting to be reinstated. And literally 2 days after that, I got another notice from YouTube saying, your content breaks our guidelines, and this one said it was for harassment, and I was like, well, where is that harassment? And I went through the video, and there was no harassment at all. And then they gave me a strike. That's why if you subscribe to my YouTube, you're not going to see any new videos for a while, because they've disallowed me. And I appealed, and the appeal came back within about 3 minutes saying no, it's still break. There's not even, I don't know how it works there. I don't know what's going on exactly. Although I have an idea, it's to do with certain messages getting to certain people, because I do believe that bad guys are done. Although there are still spiritual attacks happening. So keep your wits about you is what I would say. A couple of other things I want to tell you before I bring today's guest on. Firstly, you know the work that we're doing at Live 5D Health. Well, there is, after many, many months of work, a new Live 5D Health shop, which is at live5dhealth.com/shop. Especially good if you're in Ireland for lower shipping costs. We have had a problem, funnily enough, because of Trump, because the FDA have destroyed a few of our items, or the American import service, or whatever it is. So we have currently disabled shipments to the USA, but that may change in the future. So please do go along to the shop. You have to register because it's a private members association. That's why it's taken so long to build it, because also we want to make sure that people get things delivered on time. If you're one of those people in the States that had one of these hydrogen pitchers destroyed, we will be in touch soon. We're just trying to resolve it with UPS about who actually is going to pay us back, because the FDA literally destroyed. But there's stuff on there like the hydrogen pitcher, which is the best one on the market by far. The Aloha 7, which you should know about, which is, there's not many of those left, but we will be getting more in soon. That's just an extraordinary product. Irish Celtic sea salt, the colloidal silver, everybody's lacking in. Sorry, that's copper, not silver. We've also got the exclusivity on Sugar Vida in Ireland. So if you love Sugar Vida and you want to get it without the import duties and you live in Ireland, then please use that. Go there. There's a signed copy of Weapons of Mass Protection. And we're putting new stuff into here all the time. So if you want to support what we're doing at Live 5D Health and you want some of these products, especially if you live in Ireland, then you're going to get them better from here. So please do check out that shop. What else was I going to tell you? There's one other thing I want to tell you. That is that at the event at Rebels, I gave out packets of homemade carnivore crisps made out of 100% organic Irish grass-fed beef. And they were a big hit. So much so that some people, instead of passing them on, hid the crisp packet in their jacket. Yes, we saw you, which I take as a compliment, but come on. So not everybody tasted them, but if you are, again, what I've realized is with the carnivore crisps, and don't start shouting at the screen, oh, why are you a carnivore? I can't be asked with those arguments anymore. They're extraordinarily highly nutritious, totally clean. I use Kalahari desert salt on these crisps. My daughter's making them every weekend. So if you want to try them and you live in Ireland, I've created a page where there's a free taster offer, which is here, and it's only for people in Ireland. We can't ship them outside of Ireland. So if you want to try this, but I do have a big idea on how to make this global, which I'm going to be sharing with you in the next couple of months. We didn't invent carnivore crisps. I only started doing it because I couldn't get them from America. And then on this, there's a picture of one. So I'll put a link up below this video for that if you want to take advantage of that offer. That'd be great, because I'm also trying to use it to teach my daughter about entrepreneurship, which is essential to teach the kids, because most of them, there you go, I'm just going to put that link on the screen as well. tmas.tv, theMarkAttwoodShow.tv /free carnivore crisps offer. I know it's not for everybody, but they are amazing, especially if you're on a carnivore keto diet and you want some. It's very hard to keep on that, especially if you're on the road or if you're working or if you're away from home and you get hungry. You need something like this. So yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks, and I am attempting to go for a rest soon because I am completely knackered, but in a really positive, fulfilling way. I think we've achieved a lot in the last month, and you guys, your support is essential to that. But today I'm going to talk about something completely different, because if you are subscribed to me, you'll know that I reposted a video made about 3 years ago with my good friend Helena Fleming, who is basically our family doctor. But she's not a doctor. She's what have I described her as before? And I'll ask her. I'll bring her on, and then we'll talk about that. Hi, Helena.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. What did I describe you as?
Was it an electric witch?
That's it.
Was that it?
The electric witch with the something called digital cauldron. That's it.
Yeah.
See, I thought that was a smart title 3 years ago, because it was funny. It made me laugh, because that's what you described. I think you described yourself as.
I described it when I made the remedy. I described it as my digital cauldron, and you ran with it and turned me into a witch.
Well, you know, for those guys watching who missed that, it was only posted about a month ago. It's on the Substack, it's on Rumble, it's on the YouTube channel, which hasn't been taken down yet, but I can't repost to it. And the reason I reposted it is because as time's gone by, you know, when I first made that video with you, it was I didn't know anything about the bioresonance work that you did, and I didn't know for sure how powerful the remedies would be. But obviously, since then, we've become friends, and I've I've used you in emergency situations and for all sorts of situations, and you've just been amazing. And then I've met lots of people that have worked with you, just had incredible results with you, and it's you know, and we've had lots and lots of deep chats about all sorts of things, from vitamins to radioactivity in the sea and all of that and it's been endlessly interesting. But the that's why I posted it, guys. If you want to work with Helena, then go to helenafleming.co.uk and go to that video first and have a look at it. But one of the things we talked about, well, you started talking to me about when we first met, was the fact that you'd downloaded codes from our friends in the ether, and that you'd impregnated them into something, and that you were giving these to your clients. Do you want to tell us that story?
Okay, so this goes back to mid-2015. I had a friend, and I was living in England at the time, and this friend of mine kept banging on for me to go and see this channel. And I kept saying to her, not interested in talking to my dead grandmother, to be honest. But she kept on at me. So I booked an appointment with this woman. It took a year to get to see her. And the first appointment with her was phenomenal, but not in the woo, right? It wasn't, do you have a Joan that's passed? It was, oh, I'm talking to your little brother who died at the age of 4 of liver cancer. His name was Richard. And I was, okay. And she said, that patient that you're treating at the moment with mouth cancer needs the remedy vernix caseosa. And I'm like, okay. So I was convinced then, you know, so I booked a whole heap of appointments with her. And normally I would go, she would connect to whoever wanted to talk to me and say what they were saying. And normally I would just go in there and let them set the agenda, thinking they know more what I need to hear than me asking stupid human questions, you know. And there was a lot of quantum science I couldn't get my head around, and I'd be furiously Googling afterwards at home, what is an Einstein-Rosen bridge theory and this kind of stuff, you know. But one I had just done, it was 2017, and I'd done a deep dive into 5G, and I was horrified. And so I went to this appointment with her, and I said, I'm freaking out. I don't know, what am I going to do? How am I going to help my patients with 5G? I can help them with all the other tech that we're exposed to at the moment, but 5G is completely wrecking my head. What am I going to do? And the first thing she said was, F me, I'm talking to a ball of light. Very down-to-earth woman, Kathy. And so this being called Primus, we became known as Primus, was primordial light, came in and said to me, 5G, 6G. 6G is the totality of enslavement. No one will think for themselves. It's a scrambling of the human soul. He said that we are moving into frequencies beyond our knowledge, so that's why we need to know about them. And frequencies in the megahertz range, right? He said that, now this goes back to 2017. only recently was confirmed to me by a patient of mine in America who works for Verizon. They are rolling out 6G at the moment, and it's not for consumers. It's all about surveillance. But Primus told me all the satellites ring fencing the Earth are coded with these megahertz frequencies using 10-strand binary coding, right? And that CERN was an integral part of this. He was talking about a positronic or slamming plate. And he gave Kathy this image, and she laughed. She said, "That's funny." And she said, "Oh, no, it's not funny. He's not laughing. He hasn't got a great bedside manner." So she showed him. At the time, all my patients were coming to see me in England, and I was dispensing my remedies in dropper bottles. So he gave us this image of him, this burnt gold ball of primordial light with a dropper bottle dropping a remedy on CERN. He told me that the drinking water is all being pulsed with these frequencies, that they're altering the molecular structure of our water. And that's why it's so important to restructure your water, right? He said that as everything speeds up in the universe, the enslavement program puts us out of sync with our own universal field. That's how it works, right? That's the key to the enslavement. He said they think it's ironclad, but it's not. Every enslavement program has chinks in it. They're only working on a corporeal level. Anything beyond the firmament, they don't understand. And cell frequency is way higher than the frequency of the program, right? He said, not to worry, this was always meant to happen as part of the plan. Earth is a willing participant in this to help us. He said, this is way beyond waking up. He said, everything you've been waking up from until now is chicken feed in comparison to this. And he also said to awaken during 6G formatting is true awakening. He did say there was a harmonic convergence in the 80s that woke a lot of people up, but their kids have been enslaved, right? The millennials in particular. He said, I hope this isn't too controversial, he said the LGBTQ plus agenda was all about trapping people in their physical selves so they're to separate them from their soul selves, right? So he told me my role in this was to teach, but you can't teach 5D in 3D. It has to be done through frequency, right? So the first thing he did was he attuned me. She, unbeknownst to the woman at the channel, she said, that thing you're wearing around your neck, which is a Q-link, right?
I have one of those then.
Yeah. She said they're putting into it. She said, I'm not big up on astrology, but it looks to me like an astrological symbol. It's a key. So she said he was turning my third eye into a fifth eye. Third eye is 3D. He spoke about the importance of the fifth element, about quintessence, quint, 5. We all use the word quintessential as though it's like a key part of something, but quint, 5, it's essence, right? So he elongated. So he said all chakra points are spherical, except what we've been called the third eye, the pineal gland. It's conical. So he elongated that out, my third eye. He elongated it out to connect to the Primus chakra, which is behind your head.
What's it called? The Primus
chakra. Yeah, which is behind your head, and connected me through a celestial arc. Like, I remember at one point I was listening back to these recordings. She allowed me to record them because they were giving me all these frequency numbers and stuff I wouldn't be able to remember at all. And at one point, in one of the, there was 2 things I said. At one point, I said, I hope this isn't more quantum physics because I don't have a clue. And apparently he laughed and said it will become apparent. And the other thing I said was, I hope you're not relying on me to save the world. I hope you've got plan B. So now he has attuned me with metahertz technology. He called it vibrational alchemy, right? So that when I interact with my bioresonance machine, it becomes I'm actually interacting with it, and it becomes super condensed megahertz, which is, and we'll come to it, which is one of the importance of flint, because it grounds you and it keeps your feet on the earth, right? So he actually said, when you're out of the enslavement, you can take time, space, and what was it? Time, space, and energy, and compress them into a polarity sequence. Again, right? He explained it to me. He said it's like homeopathy. The smaller it gets, the more powerful it becomes. So he has to megahertz these huge frequencies, like massive millions and millions of megahertz. Now, the Earth, the human resonance is 8.73, I think, at base. So a megahertz is 1,000,000 hertz, and we're talking metahertz, way beyond that. Now, just don't bother Googling it.
I can Google it.
He said it's totally uncharted territory in our time. He said the Atlanteans used it, the Lemurians used it, but ego got in the way and flattened it, and we have to pump it up again, right? So yeah, he's like he's condensing things using this megahertz, this vibrational alchemy, he called it, so that I can input and output these frequencies on my machine. Right, because my technology is of the 3D reality, so it can only input and output certain frequencies. So he's changed me, so I interact with the machine in a different way to somebody else using the machine. And he gave me a series of recipes for remedies, which are made of these metahertz frequencies that he gave me. And it was hard work. Some of them I already had in my equipment. Some I had to literally go with my machine and take frequencies from certain spots. Some I had to go to a friend of mine who pretty much turned his whole house into a rife machine and tell him, I want you to put that frequency in and bombard the water and then upload it to my machine. So it was quite hard work to put them all together.
How long did all that take?
Probably about 6 months.
Really?
And then he told me the first thing I had to do was heal the Primus chakra line, which is along the spine of Albion, starting in Roslyn, right?
Roslyn, the place that I've been locked out of twice.
Right, and like I'm sitting on Google going, I'm not driving to Roslyn. So I tracked that line, and knowing from what he said to me, the action in these Neolithic monuments is never where the focus is. It's always off a bit. So it goes to Avebury. So I actually, a friend of mine now, but this woman was my first ever teacher of homeopathy. She came over to England from Ireland for this. He told me I had to heal that. So I had the remedy all uploaded. So you probably know I can put my remedies on this modified laser I use.
Well, hang on. What year are we talking here now?
We're talking 2018-ish, 2019.
And what was your state of consciousness at that point? I mean, did a lot of this, obviously you believed it all, otherwise you wouldn't have spent 6 months going around. I mean, that sounds like a movie. You go in search of frequencies.
Well, it's not that. You've seen my machine. You know the plate that I make remedies on?
Yeah.
You can output from that, so you can put remedies from the machine into the pilules, or you can input. So I can add anything to my machine that if I haven't got a frequency and I want to work with it, I can add it. I've got crop circle wheat in there. I've got magic mushrooms in there. I've added loads of stuff to it over the years. So I literally just have to put the plate on something that I want the frequency of. So that was well within my understanding at the time, right? And I have to be honest, quantum physics wasn't well within my understanding and still isn't.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was like talking. He went into all the mathematics of how these frequencies are metahertzed down for me, and I'm pretty clueless, but I just did what I was told, you know. And I remember sitting around chatting with some friends at the time and going, because I was told I have to get these out. that these remedies, and I have this on a recording, and this was back 2017, 2018. He said these remedies are for the 20% of humanity who want to and are able to survive what starts in 2020 with their humanity intact. And we were well into COVID before I went, oh, this is what he was talking about, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, I was a bit clueless. What do I do? I was thinking, how am I going to send dropper bottles? And then in subsequent, I realized that you can actually, I did quite a lot of experimentation. You can actually put my remedies on crystals as well as into water and pilules. And I did extensive testing on that myself, and Primus confirmed it. So he said, shungite, definitely. Shungite is the one. So now I'm importing shungite. I don't trust the shungite you buy down the road in the crystal shop. I'm importing it from Russia, which in itself is damn hard at the moment.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I was sitting around a table with my friend who had a rather plugged into the Matrix boyfriend, and I was saying, how am I going to get these out to people? And he was, oh, you need a business plan. And I nearly choked on my business plan. I said, can you imagine me in Dragon's Den? I've got crystal frequencies to save humanity. Be like, I'm out. I don't do 3D. I don't do business plans, Mark. You should know me.
I know that. I know that.
So, and I guess I've been sitting on it, and it feels right now. The whole bio-digital convergence. I feel comfortable. He did tell me to make these remedies and to work with them and sit with them and get to know them, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've been sending them out to clients for a while as well.
Yeah, just as tests to see what their responses are, you know. That's where all the testimonials on my little page come from. And you know, I've had some mad responses back from them, you know. And I still, there is a little part of me that thinks this is just so, there's a part of me that thinks this is so out there. And there's another part of me that doesn't want to go into this ego, save the world mentality, you know, because
no, a lot of us, you know, all the best healers have that issue. Because there's a lot of us doing a lot of different things, and some healers, it goes to their head and they think they're Jesus, and others just get on with it quietly, and that's what you've been doing.
And I've been kind of sitting below the parapet for a long time, just doing my work, and I'm so honored to be able to, every single patient of mine that I help is such an honor to me, you know.
I know.
This feels like my life work.
Yeah.
And in a way, I'm kind of glad that they gave me this complete woo-woo out there stuff, because it does take the ego world savior stuff out of it. You know, it really does.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it for 2 years, haven't we?
The first time I told you, or you know, my memory, it was that organic coffee shop in Carrick.
Yeah.
And I just happened to start telling you about it, and you were like, oh my God, you've got to launch that on my show. And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I guess the timing it's come together now. The timing, trust the timing, as James says.
It's all about timing. And I was thinking, I was just looking at one of the videos you've got from one of your clients. Shall I play that?
Yeah, please, by all means.
Let me just pull it up. This one.
Tell me about the crystal.
It came in an envelope, and I felt the energy through the envelope. It opened it on the sofa, sat next to my husband. My husband could feel the energy from me. It was amazing, the warmth, the strength. I've dealt with crystals all of my life. I've bought them, sold them, kept them, been brought up on them. And this is way up there. This is, you know, I've never felt an energy from anything like I felt from this, and it's not been off my neck since I received it. And I don't even have to check on it. Normally when I've got something so precious, it's check. I feel it on me. I don't need to check, it's there. And it hasn't been off me since it's amazing. I'm sorry, I'm emotional with it. It's amazing, Helena. Absolutely amazing. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'll stop recording now. So that was totally spontaneous, Mark. She just, that was an appointment, and she just started talking it. And I know you long enough now to go, can I record this?
Yeah, it's very important. You know, I mean, she's got me in tears just listening to her.
She's
I don't know
awesome.
what's her first name.
Paula.
Paula, thank you, Paula.
She's awesome. She really, like, I don't know who's treating who sometimes, because she will sit there and say, I can see this in you, and I can see, you know, she's an awesome person to be in contact with.
That's amazing. And then there's another one I want to play as well, if I can. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Good.
So Barbara, tell me about your experience of wearing the Primus Origin frequency shown guide.
Well, Helena, I was lost without it when my first one I lost it in the end, and I got this one back in the post, and it's like I've become basically whole again. That's the only way I can describe it. I've a lot of health issues, or had a lot of health issues, and I feel this grounds me. It really, really is. It's part of who I am at this stage. The crystal is amazing. I can't recommend it highly enough because it does what it says on the tin. It's really, really good. I wouldn't be without it.
Amazing.
My experience of it, we're all different. I've been working with these frequencies since I put them into the machine 5-7 years ago. I am a fearless zone, but one of the things that one of the frequencies in there, he said, opens up the midbrain where the fear is. Right? I am complete biodigital. 10 years ago, if you'd said biodigital convergence and I'd started reading into it, I would have been in absolute anger, fear, terror. But my nickname in university was Helena Fleming, and I'm beginning to live up to it now. And to me, it doesn't feel like something new. It feels like remembrance.
Mm.
It doesn't feel like, yeah. It feels connecting to something that you know again.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And it is a frequency war. I was actually talking about frequencies this morning with one of my daughters, and yeah, it's very much part of the conversation that everybody's having.
Can I talk through some of the frequencies that are on there?
Oh yeah, that was my next question.
So the actual stellated dodecahedron that's engraved on each pendant is the Primus chakra point compressed into our reality.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
He was quoting Plato at me. Geometry is everything.
Certainly is. I'm just gonna. There's a picture of that up here. I'm going to show everybody that one.
Yeah, stellated dodecahedron.
What does stellated mean?
Star.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Dodecahedron, 12-point star.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was really important for me to have that. That's part of the energy of it. He did say that none of the elements of these remedies will work in isolation. It's like a recipe for a cake. You can't make it with just flour.
So it's like a spiritual KFC.
It's the old cauldron comes out again.
It's a secret recipe.
Yeah, it's vibrational alchemy, toe of newt and tongue of frog. So one of the frequencies, and I'm not comfortable. It's not a proprietary thing. I'm not comfortable with saying the actual numbers of the frequencies because I think we need to keep this.
Yeah.
I don't then.
Yeah.
Right? So the first one is 15 strands DNA activation.
Well, I was going to ask you, 15, it's usually 12 people talk about, right?
15.
15. Why is it 15? What do you know about that?
All I know about it is the remedy to reactivate it, reawaken it, right? Don't remember, he said the Lemurians and the Atlanteans and the Egyptians were all using this kind of stuff, but the ego got in the way and destroyed it.
This is the divine blueprint we're talking about.
So the remedy to reawaken that is when Primus came into the room, like primordial light, he said we are just about out of the primordial ooze, right? But it's connecting, it's primordial, right? So the channel said, oh, he looks the color of burnt gold. And he said, it's not burnt gold, it's gold in its highest earthly format that they have transmuted into a higher form using vibrational alchemy. And now he's compressed it. She said, oh, I was listening to the recordings a couple of weeks thinking about us talking. He's compressing it. He's squeezing it down into a frequency that I can then put on the Shungai, right? So
that's really interesting about that is I don't know if you saw the interview I did with Malcolm and Kat from Orinoco a few weeks back, but they showed a video of MT Kesh, an experiment he did in Japan, I think it was about 15 years ago, using a different, what's it called? It's a something state element, trans state element, and the matter was forming in front of people's eyes, and when you picked it up, it was gold.
Okay.
Which is really interesting. I think that connects with this, and also the gold connects with the story, and it is a story. I don't know how true it is, of the Anunnaki wanting gold for their planet to fix their problems there, therefore gold mines. I think that's interpretation, but the gold is certainly part of it. And one of my favorite things that Michael Tellinger taught me years ago was that the three things all the religious texts have in common is slavery, serpents, and gold. It's always gold, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Mm.
Fifth element, though, quintessential, fifth eye, right? 5D.
Yeah.
The second ingredient is 45 bands of light.
45?
45 bands of light.
What does 45 remind you of?
You're not going to stretch this into 42, are you? The answer to life, the universe.
I know, 45th president, but anyway, move on.
Okay, no, thanks for drawing my attention to that. Okay, so slightly different frequencies, like an orchestral tone. And that is what expands out the midbrain where the fear is. That's what pushes out all of that.
So is that a tone that have you used that
light
tone?
now?
So it's light. Yeah.
Well, they're all waves. They're all waveforms, and follow the same scientific principles.
Yeah, but have you? So you said earlier that Fearless Fleming has come back. Do you think it's to do with that frequency or that light, those light waves that have got rid of that fear in your brain?
I've always been a pretty brave person, but I was getting, who wouldn't, brought down by the horror out there, and the horror, like even more now that what we knew they planned, I'm actually beginning to see it in front of my very eyes in Ireland happening. So I at the time I was in fear of 5G, but that very quickly was like, I used to live in a small little private road, and in front of my house was a big old, very old wall. On the other side of the road, up the wall, was Epsom General Hospital, and I would look out my kitchen window and see a squadrillion masts on top of Epsom Hospital.
In a bloody hospital.
Yeah, hospitals and schools.
I know, mind blown.
And I'm completely like, bring it on, I don't care. I'm that very, very quickly lifted. That fear very quickly lifted. But the fear is one of the things that keeps us trapped.
Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, I have found myself of late, maybe in the last year, where I would kind of go, God, that's scary, but don't worry, I'm brave. I'm now. Bring it on.
Good to hear.
It's
the only way to fly.
really, like, do your best.
Yeah.
I had I had a row with chemtrails last summer in my garden. I was like, is that it? Is that all you've got?
Yeah.
You can kill my body with that stuff, but you can't kill my soul. Bring it on. I'm sure the neighbors think I'm totally sane, normal individual.
I doubt it.
Well, so the next couple of remedies work together. Well, it all works together, but these two are kind of twins. So he spoke about the ordinary and the extraordinary. So the frequency, the metahertz frequency of flint. Silbury Hill filled in with flint. Apparently, every neolith in England is built on flint.
And
right?
it's Ireland as well, right? The
Yeah.
megalithic tombs, they've got flint in.
So he said that it's about grounding, it's a bass tone, but it's also about fighting fire with fire. Flint, again, it was after the session with him that I'm walking home up the road with my head full of this stuff, and I went, yeah, Flint, according to history, which is just yesterday's mainstream news, but that's what gave us fire, right?
Yeah, allegedly.
But it's about grounding as well, because it's working together with the frequency of Aurora Borealis, which he described as an ionospheric remedy, which is the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
One
of the greatest things anybody could ever see on this earth.
He said it replaces enslavement with wonder, that a lot of us have lost our sense of universal wonder. But no matter how plugged into the machine you are, when you see the Northern Lights, it just bing awakens that sense of universal wonder. So the frequency of Aurora Borealis is in there, but working together with the flint, high and low, extraordinary and ordinary.
The first time I saw Aurora Borealis, I was on one of those James Bond ski buggy things up in the North Pole, and
of course you are, Mark.
I was speeding up.
Of course you were.
I was in a safari with a load of other people, and I'd let them all go past, wait a few minutes, see the Aurora Borealis, and then full rev so that I could jump over a snow. And then they're all going slowly ahead.
Well, I've never been that far up. I saw like a bit of not very amazing green in Ireland many moons ago. But do you remember?
It was here not long ago.
Remember? Was it last summer? Sitting outside in your house.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting outside summer day, minding our own business, chewing the fat, and suddenly, oh my God, the whole sky was pink and green, and it was
amazing.
And it went on for hours. It was mad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
So that's my. I wasn't James Bond up in the North Pole like you. Action man. So yeah, that's really, especially the millennials. Don't forget, these aren't remedies just for people who are awake. These are remedies for people who are capable of awakening.
Well, I was going to ask you, does it have an effect on? Does it have a radius of effect?
Good question.
Mm.
Good question. I've had actually one of the people who I met who had traveled over from Holland to your event a couple of weeks ago. Remember, we had lunch in Bazaar that day. A Dutch lady, she contacted me and asked me, could I see her for an appointment? And I like, to make an appointment with me is 6 weeks, 2 months. But so I went, okay, Monday morning, really early. And she walked into the house and she was like, oh my God, the energy in here. She was blown away by it. So I don't know. Maybe it's just my awesomeness.
Of course it is.
But I don't know, but...
No, I'd say that was logical.
They're not for everyone. He did say to me that the frequency of flint, everyone, the whole world.
Yeah.
But these are for the 20%.
Yeah.
And, how do you pick that 20%? It's not my job to, as far as I'm concerned, anyone I've had this conversation with or anyone who's listening to this, that kind of qualifies them. It's not an elite thing, it's...
Well, no, I'm just wondering whether, there's a lot of people that are awake who are still in marriages and families with asleep people, and they have to keep it
Oh
quiet.
yeah.
They have to keep it quiet. You know, I've had, you wouldn't believe how many people come here and then say, well, I've told my husband or my wife that I'm doing something else. And I'm like, really? 5 years later, you're still doing? And it makes, obviously, you know, they want to keep their marriages together, families together.
Well, my practice pretty much runs on word of mouth. So when people are, I don't want to tell my doctor I'm coming to see it, or I don't want to tell my family I'm coming to see it.
That's right.
And they're getting better magically, you know.
That is actually the biggest kick, isn't it? Like when, you know, with the healing center, it's like when people, I mean, there's a woman in there the other day, and she's gone from a year in a wheelchair to 2 sticks to 1 stick, and it's just amazing. And then they love telling me about how they go to their doctor, and the doctor's like astounded.
Yeah.
And then they don't tell the doctor what's happened. You just want to see the doctor's reaction.
Well, you know, that's happened to me so many times now that it's good lesson in humility and no ego. Because do you know what? It's not about the doctors. It's about your patients. It's about people getting better.
I mean, it's just nice. They get a kick out of it.
Well, I've like, even if they tell, like I had one patient who had so many fibroids, she was told hysterectomy, and came to see me, gave her a remedy, went for her pre-op ultrasound, and was told, oh my God, they're all gone. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I'm going to see this bio, and no, couldn't be that. Couldn't be that. I've never seen anything like it. Operation cancelled. You know what I mean?
Oh no. So, the guards interviewed me and Gary not long ago, and we were talking about stuff, and I said we're healing people, you know, come and have a sauna, and I said come and heal, and I said something flippant like, you know, if people came here, they wouldn't need to go to hospital, and the guard said, well, that's a matter of opinion. And I just had a message that morning from a friend who said, thanks to your machines, my wife's not having her knee operation. I held it up to them like that, and they went and changed the subject. There is a bit of fun. The reason I'm asking is because if somebody's watching this and they're like, well, they're probably wondering, would this be a positive thing for me to have? Obviously for myself, but would it help the people around me that aren't there? That's what I'm wondering.
I think if people are meant to interact with them, they will. I certainly wasn't told it has a field of a borderline.
Okay. No, well, of course not. But it's interesting. But I think we've covered that. What's next? So
the remaining ingredients, this one's funny. Silica, homeopaths will know that remedy. Silica is for your skin. So he said they're altering the cellular structure of our skin.
Yeah, because I just looked at silica in my fridge, which I bought in Spain a few months ago for my hair. So it's the same stuff, is it?
It's the most abundant mineral on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But it's used as a homeopathic remedy, and things are used quite differently in homeopathy, as you should know by now.
I do.
But this one is because the cellular structure of our skin is being altered. So not only are we enslaved, but we're part of the enslavement. So the silica is there to deal with that.
Okay.
We've got titanium, a metahertz frequency alchemy form of titanium, because we must be unbreakable.
Yes, we must.
We've got Preseli in there, which is what parts of Stonehenge were made from. It's one of the mysteries of Stonehenge, how they got the Preseli from Wales, where it comes from, down to Salisbury. Stonehenge is in Salisbury, isn't it?
I was just laughing to myself because Preseli sounds like a Welsh town.
Well, it's from Wales,
yeah.
And it's a mind matrix disabler.
A what?
A mind matrix disabler. That's how he described it to me.
Cool.
We've got false moon.
Oh.
I guess to supersede or get out. You know, he didn't really go into the details of that, and I had kind of put my toe into looking at the idea of the moon being a false, not actually a natural moon, but a satellite. So but he gave me the megahertz frequency of false moon as part of the remedy as well.
And what does that do?
I'm guessing, and I don't really want to.
You don't have to tell us.
I'm a human, and this is primordial light, and I don't want to do its thinking for it. You know what I mean? But I'm guessing that the false moon is control. It's part of the control grid, so it's to get beyond that
So it's like
to be invulnerable to it.
So it's like the homeopathic resistance to the false moon matrix.
Yeah.
Is there anything about Saturn in this?
No, well, not maybe you could read something into it, but not that part of this remedy. No, but triquetra is in there.
What's that?
Which is a triquetra. See if you can Google it to find an image. It's that you'll find it on a lot of Celtic.
Oh, that yes, yeah. I've got that in the house. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking
how
we
do you spell
didn't. TRIQUETRA. While you look it up, I'm going to let my see. Oh, she's out. Senile cat was howling to get out.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is beautiful, and this is like there's a reason why this is in all the ancient stuff.
Yeah, and that's part of this. The megahertz frequency of it.
Just going to dig it out for everybody. That one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this in so many places, and that's the triquetra, and I thought you were talking about the Triskeli.
No, triquetra.
Yeah.
He was very clear.
Well, that's like an interdimensional. It's like the next dimension up from the infinity symbol because it is infinite, isn't it?
Yeah. One line.
Yeah,
I've sat there and drawn it.
Yeah, amazing.
And the whole platinum, which enables the megahertz compression. Platina, as we call it in homeopathy. So that's this one. So this is protect. There are more in the series, but I've had
you've made this one the protect.
This one's ready to go. Have
you got one?
Yeah.
Can you show us one? I'll just take myself off the screen when you show.
So that is the shungite imported from Russia. That is the stellated dodecahedron on the front. And so all of them will have this. So to differentiate the different remedies, I've had that engraved on the back, but also a bit of extra word magic and packaging.
Well, I'm glad you've finally done it. And
yeah, and I've had a trial run. I sent one to America, all wrapped up, and it arrived no problem in one piece. Because shungite is by its nature quite brittle. So I was worried about that. And I also here's a top tip for your shop, Mark. You know when you're shipping stuff, you say, what am I sending? And it gives you this tarot code.
Hang on, don't say anything that's going to get us incriminated.
No, not at all.
Yeah, go on.
So I'm thinking, so on Puss website, I what is it? A pendant I put in, and it gave me a tarot code. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, what's this tarot code? And it was like precious jewelry, gold and metals. And I'm like, hold on a minute, that's not going to get, it's not what it is, and it's not going to get through customs.
Yeah.
So I said to ChatGPT, there's no metal involved here. It's a bit of shungite. And it said, well, semi-precious, here's the tarot. And I'm like, it's shungite, it's not precious. So it's now being described as fashion jewelry, non-metal.
Do you know what? That might be the problem with the hydrogen.
It's the tarot code. That's what I'm saying. Top tip.
Thank you. Very good advice.
And it's not illegal. It's just getting the right code, you know? Like customs, Mr. Trump's customs men in America would have gone, semi-precious jewelry, gold, silver, whoa, and you've this values on it, you big fat liar. You know, I mean, I had a hair sample delivered to me from America, right? It says on the packet, patient hair sample, value $1. Irish Customs wouldn't deliver it to me until they decided it was worth a certain amount, a hair sample. I had to pay them €15 to get them to deliver the thing to me.
Well, Yeah, I mean, everybody in the world is suffering with international postage. I'm sure that will be resolved in the future, but that is very useful information. Anyway, you've finally made, how many of these have you made?
I have 1,000 of these, and then once I cover my costs on these, I'll be able to get the next
batch.
Well, Evolve. I'll be able to push out Evolve, Protect Us first, and then Evolve.
Well, that's brilliant. I've got the link on the screen. It's also going to be underneath this video, tmas.tv. This is so I can track how many people are interested in it, /Primus. And there's a code Helena's created called Pendant, capital P, Pendant 342 for anybody that wants to get 3 for the price of 2. And that's fantastic. I'm so glad that you've finally done it.
I need to add another bit in there. It's just me on my little own.
Yeah.
Packaging these. I'm 8 miles from the nearest post office. They have to be sent registered post. I need to be able to track them. I have to drive down. So it's not order it, get it tomorrow. But I'm you know me, I'm on it, and I'll get it there as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But bear in mind, it's not a corporate machine here. It's just me imprinting them on my machine, packing them, doing up postage labels, and driving to the local post office. So.
Well, it
took a week. It took a week to get the one to Georgia. So
yeah, give a couple of weeks. Yeah, but yeah, and that's why I wanted you to come on and talk about them, because it has literally taken 2 years to do this.
2 years of you very gently, unusually for you, going, hell no.
I'm never gentle. I suppose I am sometimes. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's all. I just trust everything, divine timing. But it's
yeah.
And you seem more optimistic talking about this as well, which is really good. So maybe I'm finding people are a little bit more optimistic and more chatty recently, just in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. You know,
there's a definite shift. It's absolutely happening right now.
Mind you, I was walking Enzo, the dog, in the Lashings around this morning, and Pat, the sheep farmer, stopped to talk to me, and he was talking. Was there power cuts last night because of the storm and all?
Well, there was one in town last night. Yeah.
And I was having a rant about it's Ireland. You know, it's not like, it wasn't a big storm. They didn't fix it after the last one. They don't care. They want us all living in cities. And he was like, oh, I never thought of that. And I was like, don't say via digital convergence. Don't say it, Helena. Don't say it. The guy's got one tooth sticking out of here, and he knows how to shear a sheep. You know, but
you meet people where they are. But I'm constantly surprised by the people that, you know a lot more than they look like they let on, and it's great when you get into the chats with them. You know.
Yeah, but you know, back in the day when I discovered homeopathy, I was like, oh, I can't wait to tell all my friends. This is amazing. Not realizing, hold on, it's been around for 200 years and it's not in every hospital. And I guess when I then started realizing it, you know, it's not just big pharma, it's big everything. Yeah. I had made the same mistake. Wait till I tell people we change it. But I've long since stopped trying to wake people up.
Yeah.
You know, you can put a little seed there, and if they're interested, you can have a conversation. If they're not, just let it flow on by. I have to respect people's journey, you know, and I'm here to help people who want my help. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you've done an amazing job, and you're doing an amazing job, and you know, I really appreciate you coming on to talk about the Primus. What do you call it? Primus origin
frequencies. I was coming up with fancy names, and in one session, and she said, they're laughing at you. You're rubbish at marketing. You need to call it Primus origin frequencies. So that's
That's from them.
Who am I to argue with a ball of primordial light? You know,
I'm not going to argue with a ball of light. No, I love balls of light.
So yeah, and he's with me. He's working with me now. So he's here now. So
amazing.
Got it.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, brilliant. Thanks, Helena. Thanks for coming on. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we need to catch up for a cuppa soon.
We will. See you later.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.